Most people completely misunderstand what it really takes to start a business in a country like Haiti. And that misunderstanding quietly stops them from seeing opportunities that are right in front of them. Because when most people hear Haiti, they don't think about entrepreneurship. They think about challenges, instability, and uncertainty. And yes, those challenges exist. But here's the surprising truth that almost nobody talks about. In environments where most people hesitate, the few who understand the system often find opportunities that are less competitive and deeply impactful. And this is exactly where Michael's story begins. Michael is a small manufacturing entrepreneur from Florida. For years he's been running a modest operation producing handmade goods. But rising costs, increasing competition, and shrinking margins are putting pressure on his business. He starts looking for alternatives. At first, he considers moving production to larger, more established markets. But then, something unexpected happens. A business associate mentions Haiti. At first, Michael dismisses the idea. Too risky, he thinks. Too complicated. But the idea lingers. And that's where things get interesting. Because once he starts researching, he realizes that Haiti offers something unique: proximity to the United States, a workforce eager for opportunity, and certain trade advantages that can benefit exporters. And what happens next changes everything. He asks a simple but powerful question: what would it actually take to start a company there? And this is where most people stop. Because registering a company in Haiti isn't just about filling out forms. It's about understanding a system that operates differently from what most entrepreneurs are used to. And if you don't understand that system, things can go very wrong. Let's start with the basics. In Haiti, the equivalent of an LLC is typically referred to as a Société à Responsabilité Limitée, or SARL. This structure provides limited liability, meaning your personal assets are protected if the business encounters financial problems. That's a major advantage. But there's one detail most people miss. The process of setting up a SARL in Haiti involves multiple government offices, manual procedures, and strict documentation requirements. Michael didn't expect that. He assumed he could handle everything online. But this is where reality stepped in. And this is where things can get complicated. Let's bring in Sarah. Sarah is a consultant who has worked with businesses in the Caribbean. When Michael reaches out to her, she gives him one piece of advice that changes everything. In Haiti, patience and local guidance are your biggest assets. That advice becomes his turning point. Because instead of rushing, he starts focusing on understanding the system. And that's where progress begins. Now let's walk through the process step by step. Imagine you're in Michael's position. You've decided to move forward. What's the first step? It starts with choosing a company name. Simple, right? But here's where things get interesting. Your business name must be unique and approved by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry in Haiti. If it's already taken or too similar to another company, it will be rejected. Michael submits his first choice. Rejected. Then his second. Also rejected. Each rejection slows him down. But there's a smarter way to handle this. You prepare multiple name options in advance and verify availability before submitting. This small detail can save you significant time. And this is the pattern you need to recognize. Small steps. Big consequences. Now, once your name is approved, the next step is drafting the company's articles of incorporation. This document outlines the structure of your business, ownership, management, and operational rules. But here's the problem. These documents must be prepared carefully and often require notarization. David learned this the hard way. He tried to prepare his documents without proper legal guidance. The result? Errors, delays, and repeated submissions. But once he worked with a local legal professional, everything changed. His documents were properly structured, and the process moved forward smoothly. And this is where things get interesting again. Local expertise is not just helpful, it's essential. Now let's move forward. After preparing your documents, you need to deposit your company's capital in a local bank. Here's where many people get confused. The required capital can vary depending on the type of business, but the key point is this. This is not just a formality. Emily understood this early. Instead of depositing the bare minimum, She ensured her business had enough capital to operate effectively, and that decision gave her a strong foundation. But here's the problem. Many entrepreneurs focus only on meeting legal requirements without thinking about actual business needs. And that's where things can go wrong. Now, once the capital is deposited, you receive proof from the bank. This document becomes part of your registration file. Next comes the official registration process. This involves submitting your documents to the Ministry of Commerce and Industry and other relevant authorities. And this is where things can get unpredictable. Jessica experienced this firsthand. She submitted her application, expecting a quick approval. Instead, she faced delays due to administrative processing times. Not because she did anything wrong, but because the system operates at its own pace. And this is where patience becomes a competitive advantage. But here's the good news. Once your company is registered, it becomes a legal entity. You can operate, sign contracts, and conduct business officially. And that moment changes everything. Because now, your idea becomes real. But there's one detail most people miss. Registration is only the beginning. Now, let's talk about what happens next. After registration, you need to obtain a tax identification number and register with tax authorities. This is essential for operating legally. And this is where things can get dangerous. If you fail to comply with tax regulations, penalties can accumulate quickly. Daniel learned this the hard way. He assumed his small operation wouldn't require strict compliance. He was wrong. Missed filings led to fines. But once he partnered with a local accountant, everything stabilized. And that stability allowed him to focus on growth. Now, let's zoom out. At this point, you've chosen a name, prepared documents, deposited capital, registered your company, and handled tax registration. It sounds like a lot. But here's the insight most people never realize. The process itself is not the biggest challenge. The mindset is. If you approach this with impatience, you'll face frustration. If you approach it with strategy, you'll find opportunity. And this is where the identity shift happens. You're no longer someone guessing your way through international business. You're someone who understands how to navigate complex systems. And that changes everything. But we're not done yet. There's one more critical piece: ongoing compliance. In Haiti, businesses must maintain proper records, follow legal requirements, and operate within regulatory frameworks. This is not optional. And this is where many entrepreneurs lose momentum. But here's the smarter approach. You build a local support system. A legal advisor. An accountant. Trusted contacts. Michael eventually did this. At first he tried to manage everything remotely. It didn't work. But once he built local connections, everything became smoother. Decisions became clearer. Processes became faster. And his confidence grew. And that confidence led to growth. Because while others hesitated to enter the market, he was already established. He had relationships. He had experience. He had momentum. Now let's bring everything together. Registering an LLC in Haiti is not just about paperwork. It's about understanding a system shaped by local realities, administrative processes, and practical challenges. If you rush, you risk mistakes. If you prepare, you create opportunity. And that's the difference between those who struggle and those who succeed. Because at the end of the day, it's not about choosing the easiest place to start a business. It's about choosing the right place and understanding it deeply. Haiti may not be the first place most entrepreneurs think of, but for those who take the time to learn the process, it offers something powerful. Proximity to major markets, untapped potential, and the chance to build something meaningful. So if you're considering starting your own LLC in Haiti, remember this. Take your time. Learn the system. Build the right connections. Because once you do, you're not just starting a company. You're entering a market that very few people truly understand. And that's where real opportunities exist. If you found this guide helpful and want more videos that break down complex global opportunities like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Because the more you understand, the more confident and capable you become. And that's how smart entrepreneurs move forward.